Dragonslayer. It's my jam. So it's what I've been running. This is general old school advice. If you have Vows of Poverty in your old school game. For Dragonslayer, the monk can only retain 20 gold pieces worth of wealth, and the paladin can only retain 100 gold pieces worth of wealth. But then that leads you to define what wealth is. Paladin has to have the best armor and weapons, blah blah blah. So it's definitely not how much equipment you have. So I allow them to buy whatever equipment they need and then spend down to what their caps are for retainment at the end of every adventure, right? And that's worked out pretty good. Magic items are typically restricted as well, but not considered wealth. So they can have 6 magic items on the paladin, and the monk can have 3. That's a rough one. Because I've ruled in the past, you may not like it. A potion is a magic item. You gotta be it's made with magic, therefore the potion's a magic item, so it's a scroll. So these expendable magic items count too, which was sucking since they had to use potions to get up and down from Highfell, and he couldn't retain it. So if he had 2 potions, one to get up, one to get down, he only had like 1 magic item slot, based on his class description. Rough, I get it. That sucks. So they started doing it as a party negotiation and handing it off as needed. Allow that. He picked some jewelry and was going to wear it, and I ruled that would be retaining of wealth. Didn't like it, but they agreed with it. So, begrudgingly, you know how players are. They always want to get around everything. So, how strict are you with your vow of poverty? I'm going by value. Your regular equipment doesn't count, nor do your animals if you use your retainer slots granted by charisma. Because in a medieval society, by peasants and farmers and stuff, they view animals as wealth. So if you get too many, you'll be seen as retaining wealth. So he's got a donkey and a giant raven, which would be a great sign of wealth. But since I'm allowing you to use your retainer slots, which they're unaware of, Paladin has 2 war dogs. They don't count as wealth either. But if he gets more than what his charisma would allow, like 6, then it would. There'd be repercussions. Same with the monk. If they got more than what their charisma would allow them to call an animal companion. Because I do allow animal companions in my game. Don't even really have to speak their same language or communicate with them. The wolf barbarian has the wolf and the ranger, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have to be a level PC to be a retainer. It can be a critter. Kind of like a familiar for a wizard without the extra benefits. Plus, it doesn't love them. If it's really big and mean, it'll count as a slot for XP division, so as not to unbalance the game. But yeah, count the animals as retainers to prevent them going past their restrictive GP limit, which also means no ostentatious displays of wealth. I allow them to have a silver staff count as equipment, even though it's a little bit extra, but it still falls under equipment. A magical wing looks more valuable, right? It's not technically jewelry, it's a magic item. And that's a game quirk. But on outward appearances, it would look ostentatious compared to a regular monk's habit. Little rope. My picture of a monk is the cookie jar my grandmother had when I was a kid, okay? That and Little John, right? Little John from Robin Hood and the cookie jar with "Thou shalt not steal" on these robes. So, curious how you guys rule on that? I encourage everybody to get out there and make their own little videos about their games. I think we talk too much about the hobby instead of just running. Talk about your experiences and what you suggest for people to do. Keep it short, man. Who's got all this time today? 3-hour broadcast and stuff. I don't get it. But yeah, game well, game often. have fun, and yeah, keep it old, keep it classic. This new stuff's like a bad laxative. Just doesn't move me. Later, y'all.